Oh, hold on. Before you start, make sure we get to where people are from.
Oh.
Yes. I want to shout out to
At some
Goody as
point,
well.
just
Make sure you get to where people are from.
Let's start it with people.
I'm from Ottawa. You, Puffy?
Toronto.
Stoff? Bradford?
Wow.
Poland.
This is Jimmy's podcast, season 10 on the podcast. We coming back for more. I bet you never thought we'd last, and neither did we. Breaking news, show reviews, rubber boots, reacts, and other social media crap. And if nothing else, you know you're gonna have a laugh. You're gonna have a laugh, oh yeah, 'cause this is the podcast.
Was that the start? Should we? That was probably a good
It's
start.
cold. It's called the cold
Was
open.
that the start to the pod?
I prefer the Oilers talk that will be dated by Thursday.
Let's talk about.
Oh, so what you were saying though was when the people we asked where they were listening from, and you got a long list of
Overwhelming response.
places from all over the world.
All over the world.
Great.
The galaxy.
Are we recording now?
I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to that later in the podcast.
Yeah, a little late.
Okay. Hi everybody. Welcome to the Rubber Boots Podcast, season
10.
9.
Wow.
10.
We're in
Episode
season 10?
Season 10 episode.
But you're like 4.
Episode 6.
This goes
11.
back to 20.
11.
11?
Like 11 since January.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What a season!
It's time for a
We
break.
need to really be.
Man,
wrapping
the
this up.
sponsorship dollars must be just pouring in right now.
Too soon, James.
I'm
Too soon.
gonna mention that tomorrow. I have a meeting with one of the higher up so and so's.
Oh, you're gonna. Oh, so
I am.
about bringing us a sponsorship.
Well, I got a couple
You light
questions,
some people
but
up on-
But I'm
on
gonna mention it.
Mirko?
No, not Mirko.
Stu?
Not Stu.
Is this a decision-making manager or a flunky for the higher
Actually,
ups?
I do see Sean tomorrow.
Gravy boss guy from the cafeteria?
Gravy boss, yes.
He can make some calls.
I have some. I have a couple of golf season. What a weekend! What a weekend for
What a
golf.
weekend.
Okay.
I can only imagine. Right, Stoff?
My local course opened up in Wellington.
Oh, the Dukes lost, by the way. Eh? Luke,
Devastating.
Luke and the Dukes.
Devastating.
Gracie's boyfriend, for the listeners, whatever country you're in. Gracie's boyfriend's, who's also Puffy's favorite athlete.
Yes.
Luke. They had a great run, the Wellington
was your
Dukes.
They did. They're top 5.
And they lost to Trenton in the finals?
I think it's like maybe the East Final or something like that.
okay.
But
We were devastated. Who was more devastated, me
I was more
or you?
devastated.
You
I
were
was more devastated.
definitely more devastated.
I was talking to some of the locals. I was in Wellington this weekend, and Trenton were the better team.
Oh.
We were outplayed. Double overtime we lost, though. Luke could have maybe buried one and
Should
kept it
Gracie, audience poll,
Yes.
should Gracie break up with Luke and go
Yes.
out with one of the Trenton guys
going.
now?
I think that's time. I think it's time.
Isn't that how it's done these days with these kids?
I think so.
Or just a younger Wellington Duke. So
I
next year I get
believe
seasons.
they refer to that as trading up.
Yes. Wow.
no.
Isn't
come on,
that how
Luke's
you
a
got
fine
Brooksy?
man.
Yeah, she saw you win the flag football.
That's right, baby.
She was hanging out at the Division C games.
Hey, back
I'm
off.
sorry, Colin, but James is a champion.
Back off. When I met Brooksy, I was pure Division AA.
Double A.
Nice, by me.
And also, Puffy's son's team lost. I believe we
Barrett
talked about
lost,
this
yeah,
at
they
the
lost.
Masters
Semifinals.
podcast that everybody hated. Apparently, Stoff hated
Someone
it anyway.
actually asked
Yes.
they wanted the score from the
They
final
lost.
game. So.
They lost.
Oh.
2 games.
Yeah, that was a big build-up to another disappointment.
The Rattlers, they came to play.
Most disappointing podcast star relative, Luke, my son-in-law, or your son, Barrett. Most disappointing
Well,
athlete.
it's not fair to Barrett
Well,
because
Barrett made a
it's
city
genetic.
final,
We saw what happened during the cornhole. Well, what could he do?
Hey, Barrett
They're
was
chokers.
clutch. Barrett did score an overtime winner.
Yes, but
Where did
Luke's numbers
he
were
piled-
big in the
He piled up
playoffs.
the points in the first 2 rounds. When we needed him, he's nowhere to be seen.
That's not true. He had like 3 goals in that round.
Now, was Gracie going to the games? Or was
Yeah.
she just watching on the TV?
I think
or
she was
radio?
going to games. She was in exam time, so I don't know. I don't even know. You know, when your kids are in public school,
Yeah.
you know, report cards come home, right?
Yeah.
You sit down at the table, you and Tanya, you study the report cards, you get the little notes from the teachers.
Grind it out.
My kids get to university. I've never seen a report card.
Really?
I have no idea. They could have all dropped out and faked it to me for the last years. I never even saw. I went to my son's graduation.
Okay.
So I know he graduated. But besides that, I have no idea what they got on anything, any year, any
Really?
course.
They don't come back and show
No,
you?
I mean, I guess I'm just not that good of a parent to actually check or ask. Once in a while, I'll say, "How's school going?" They'll go, "Fine." But that's it. They don't show me anything.
Well, is Gracie trying to do anything like professionally, as far as like medical school or anything like that?
I don't think so.
She want to be a lawyer?
Right now, she's in science, but I don't think she wants to. She doesn't.
Get her out of science.
I know.
It's a dead end. It's no good.
How do you know that? You didn't take science.
One of my best friends.
Isn't science the future?
Scientist.
He's a scientist?
Puffy
Yeah.
has a degree in astrophysics. I didn't
Actual
know you knew that or not.
He's wasting away here.
He's wasting
He
away
knows
He's
what
an
talking
actual
about.
scientist who
An
took
actual
science?
science, yeah.
What does he do? Does he look at microscopes?
He's like a professor and runs
Does
a
he have a
lab.
Bunsen burner?
And he's doesn't have a good life?
No, it's just like academia is no good. You just
Really, eh?
you just like sell out. If you're gonna do science, it's fine. But then sell out.
Yeah, go with the big pharmaceutical
Go the
companies.
pharmaceuticals.
I always thought a university prof would be a great job.
That's what my buddy's doing.
You know, you're around
Work
campus
once a week.
life.
Yeah, but there's some dangers there.
Yes, there
I
are.
think there's some dangers.
What are you referring to?
Although actually, the new
Pitfalls,
danger is
perhaps.
middle school. Apparently, have you seen this like epidemic?
Oh,
of
the
teachers
6 teachers were arrested in one day last
having
year?
sex with all these
What?
middle school boys.
Are
It's
you
become
kidding
like
me?
a big thing in the States.
Do
What
you
the
think
hell
you
is
would
going on down there?
take me to grade 7-8 Lester, grade 7-8 Puffy, grade
Yeah.
7-8 Stoff? Would you have had a shot with any of your teachers?
No, grade 9, I did have like my grade 9 English teacher. I thought there was something going on there between us. But
really?
nothing did.
you
I
take a
would
little
have. I
game?
definitely would have.
Yeah.
If she had given me the nod, but
I think I've talked about it on the pod before. At my high school, I think there was multiple teacher-student relationships.
really.
Really?
Yeah, including one of my good buddies and a substitute teacher who was but there was
really?
some of that happened, I believe.
Well, at my high
I
school,
think it was common back in the day.
You think?
common.
I think so.
Like, what do you mean by common? Like every teacher?
No, but I think there would probably at every high school there was one or two situations like this.
See, I think it's way more common now because of like Snapchat and stuff. It's way easier for that
Them
stuff
to
escalate.
communicate or
Them
whatever,
to
yeah.
communicate and
Yeah.
escalate.
Probably.
Where back in the day, you'd really have to.
It would happen at the school.
Yeah,
It's pretty deplorable, especially
Either way, it's deplorable for sure.
at middle school. Come on,
Yeah.
that's awful.
yeah.
Listen, I can't imagine.
What are you? what are you
Puffy's fantasizing about his grade 8
I would
teacher.
look at it like the lottery. Like I know it would mess up my life, but I probably would try it.
Wow.
Sorry, are you talking from the teacher standpoint?
No,
Okay,
no.
let's
That's what
just
it's
be clear.
No, look, if you're grade 12, 13, you're of age, and everybody fantasizes about their teacher. Van Halen wrote songs about it.
Yeah.
Right?
But
And,
those-
and the police.
Did they?
Or yeah,
Was that watching you?
Every breath you take, that's what that's about.
Every breath you take.
Don't
is about
stand
his
so
stuff.
close to me.
Really?
Young teacher, the subject, a schoolgirl fantasy.
Oh, wow.
Wet bus stop, she's waiting. His car is warm and dry.
That's what you always do. That when you like start singing like an old song,
Yes.
you'll always do like the first chorus, and it's like when everyone thinks you're done, you keep going. You go like
You should,
another
see what,
way.
you should see what it's like to live with me.
and then you'll go back.
I can keep going over and over again.
I will tell you this, and you asked about our collective experience. First of all, I can honestly
Just
say,
like the old man
This is
in
what you do. Is you can't help it.
I'll say grade 7 and grade 8, Lester McLean wasn't really thinking about the opposite sex, more thinking about the saxophone and learning to play and stuff. But I do remember this one time in art class, we had the assignment from our female artist teacher to draw portraits, and she came over and she started drawing me, and she said something about those beautiful long eyelashes you have. And I'm like, yeah.
hello.
And I was like, Mrs.
Well, I did have a.
Take that out.
Yeah, you take that out. Take that out.
Now, in fairness, she's 92 now. So
But that same teacher, it was long rumored that her and the science teacher had something going on.
Right.
You think she was trying to lure you in for a threesome?
No, I'm just telling
A
you.
menage a trois.
The science teacher loses out again.
Again, that guy had a dead-end career ahead of him.
Exactly. Loser.
Students are stealing his girl.
I had one, so the teacher that I was referring to in the alleged affair
Yes.
with my friend was very pretty.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, like when I had her as a substitute
You're a good friend, Jimmy.
in grade 12 or something, and I was like, oh my God, I was hot for teacher.
Yes.
I think the only teacher that now in retrospect might have liked Jimmy was my typing teacher.
Oh.
Miss because
Because she gave
She
you
enjoyed
a job.
she enjoyed your finger work.
no, Miss Mac, because I was not good at typing, and
Okay.
it was class that I skipped all the time, and I think
boy.
I always had football and stuff, and I can remember like I got, I don't know, 10% on my typing test or something, my exam, and she said you can come in and retake it at lunch.
Okay.
And so
Seems reasonable.
But
Yeah.
I'll be naked.
So I came in, it's just her and me. And the test was like, how many words could you do in, I think you had 5 minutes or whatever, right? To type how many far could you get through a page?
Did you have to do it properly or could you peck?
No, I was pecking because I never learned to, I wasn't in class enough to learn to do it properly.
Before, just biggest mistake of my life.
That
Not-
book by Nabokov.
You can't help it.
I wish I learned how to type. Continue.
Well, I
seriously.
sort of learned, we all learned from the computer a little bit, no?
Yeah, but I really.
Do you peck at the computer?
Well, I definitely
feel-
don't do this.
I don't do
Yeah,
the
yeah.
classical, like the taught way. Because
No.
I remember back when we had typing, there was at our school, we had this video game that the faster you typed, a car would drive. It was like a race car. So you could actually
That's a
race
good
someone.
incentive.
Yeah, but we would all turn the accuracy off and just smash our keyboards trying to see who would get to the finish the fastest. So no one learned anything.
Wacky kids. I think I just must have learned in university, maybe my typing skills came. No, I was definitely a finger guy.
Yeah, I'm a finger guy too.
That's why she kept you after school, Jimmy.
So anyway, whatever the
Magic
test
hand.
was, let's say you had 5 minutes or 10 minutes to type as much of a page as you can and not make any mistakes.
Yes.
She just looked at me and said, just take as long as you want.
Oh.
Like the whole hour. So I just pecked for the entire hour and got 100%. And boom.
Nice.
Typing, 95.
Maybe she just
Grade
didn't
12
wanna
typing award.
bother with you though.
Or she didn't want to see you next year.
No,
again.
but I think she was, I don't know. I think Miss McIntyre had a little love on for the Jimmy. Oh, is this, are you recording this?
Yes, we are
I just did
recording
a
this.
funny thing with my nipples. I don't know why.
And don't stand so close
Oh, good.
to me.
It's frozen like this.
Why do for our YouTube friends, and we encourage you to watch on YouTube, but then again, why would you when it's just a frozen image right now? Is it still, now what are you going to do? You have to resync it up? I had a couple of scenarios. I started to talk about golf, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Which we never do on this
played my
pod.
first rounds last week, right? I have two questions for you. It's kind of it's not like an A-hole or A-OK. It's more of like a rules of golf. I don't know why I'd ask you guys because you don't even know the rules of golf anyway, basically. I lipped out on a hole-in-one. Would have been my
Really?
second hole-in-one on the second hole of not my season because I'd played one round earlier in the week, but at my golf course.
Yeah.
Hard hole too, like 185 yards over water.
Nice.
Lipped out to like a foot.
Were you
made the birdie.
elevated tee box so you could actually see that it lipped out, or are you just
Yeah, we're going right at it.
Nice.
We were playing, all the par threes were off mats.
Okay.
Would that have put an asterisk next to the hole in one?
No.
I don't think so, right? Totally legit.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Second thing.
Now, if it had been during COVID, and you had one of those
Oh, sticky thing.
sticky, like the
That's
the
a tough
pool,
one.
the pool thing.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I think it should count.
Everybody was counting everything back then, but that was a crock.
What would?
So
sorry.
basically the ball couldn't go in the hole because they didn't want to have all people digging in
That's
the
how
hole.
COVID was
Yeah,
passed.
apparently.
Oh my god! You
It was
kidding me?
stupidest thing ever.
Yeah.
But
sorry-
yeah, so the ball wasn't going in the hole. You were just hitting the pin.
So, James, when you went off the mat, though, did you have a tee in there or no?
No, you can't put tees in
Yeah,
the mat.
gotcha.
So it's actually a disadvantage in some ways.
Yeah.
Although mats are a bit forgiving. Like if you hit the ground before a tee, you'll scuff it. Whereas the mat tends to. That's why people do better on
bounces off of it,
ranges
yeah.
and stuff. Okay, so that would have counted. Second thing. So I had a really good round. Didn't bring up the story to brag, but Jimmy was on fire.
Nice.
And I was 4 over on the 17th tee.
Wow.
So I've had like 12 75s in my life.
Okay.
I've never had a 74.
And this is a par
73.
par 70 course.
Par 71.
71. Okay.
So I would have shot 75 if I parred in.
Yeah.
I had to leave.
Oh.
So I had to leave on 17 and 18.
Why?
Just Brooksy stuff.
When you're having the round of a life.
Yeah, I know.
Brooksy stuff.
Not the
gets
round of a
pushed
life, but
aside.
potentially. Like I was a birdie
Say
away
you
from
went
my
birdie.
best score ever. You're right. Birdie, I would have shot 73.
Yeah.
So you just put your score in the Golf Canada system, and it gives you your handicap on those two holes. So I had to take 2 bogeys.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm like a 9 point whatever right now, and they're 2 of the harder holes. So I have to take 2 bogeys. So I end up shooting 77. But is that a legit round in your life? Or if that was my best round, let's say I was 72 and I went 74, but I really didn't finish 17 and 18.
No.
Then you couldn't
call that, right?
No, you couldn't say it was.
Yeah, I don't think I could either.
You have to
Even
play
even though
all
you're
18 holes. I
penalized.
mean,
But are you okay with me if you said to me, "Hey Jimmy, what'd you shoot yesterday? 77." Is that okay for me to say that?
I think it's legitimate because you took 2 bogeys.
I took 2 bogeys.
Yes, I think that's fine too.
All right. Good. I wanted to know. I always like to check in with you guys ethically.
Of course, if Bob
Once in
Weeks
a
was
while
on
on
the
my
show,
golf game.
perhaps he'd be the best guy to check in with. But or Bump.
no, but sorry. So you're saying it's okay to say the next day that you got a 77, but if that was the best of your life, you wouldn't be able to say it.
I think that I wouldn't take credit for saying that.
Yeah.
I think I'm
I don't
okay
think you
saying
can.
77 because that's the way Golf Canada tells you to put it in the system. And I was playing with the club champion,
Yeah.
Mike Froyo. Shout out, great guy, amazing golfer.
What did he shoot?
He probably shot. He shoots like 70 to 75 every round, or 68 or whatever.
Nice.
But here's the thing about playing with Mike Froyo. Mike Froyo is a super nice guy, and he brings. The thing on the weekends is the guys bring birdie juice. You know birdie juice. So basically like whiskey, a Mickey or whatever.
Okay, all right, fine.
When somebody gets a birdie, everybody takes a shot.
Okay, fine.
But John Kilpatrick, sales guy from Bellamy, also a great golfer.
Yeah.
Jimmy was hot. Brad Pellman, good golfer. There was a lot of birdies around.
Oh.
So all of a sudden,
So
Uber time.
I had to stop taking, like on the 8th hole, I had to stop taking shots because
Yeah.
it was just like, so these guys are like, well, let's start, it was a fun round. Let's play together every Saturday. I want to play with them. I love these guys, great golfers, but I can't get drunk every Saturday morning.
You can.
So I'm facing a bit of a dilemma.
You just got to Uber there.
Or do I miss birdies? Do I start missing birdies on purpose? Like I have that option.
yes.
No, but if you get the birdie, the other guy should have to do the birdie juice, not you.
Oh, everybody does the birdie juice when you get it.
celebration.
It's a camaraderie thing.
Yeah, I
but I going back to like just throwing it over my shoulder.
Oh, yeah. That's
And then it's a waste of somebody's good whiskey.
But Jimmy, maybe you were playing so well because you had the birdie juice going.
Yeah, you were
Good point,
loose.
too.
Maybe you got to
You were
think
loose.
about that.
That's a good
You're
point.
losing.
Maybe
Loose as a
you're
goose.
not reaching your peak because you're not drinking enough.
That's a good point by you. Another update. Another senior died at the pickleball, the senior pickleball
terrible.
center.
Oh, this is awful.
Brooksy told me this morning. That's the 3rd one who's passed since Brooksy signed up for
Oh
the
my
senior
God.
So hold
center.
on, playing pickleball, or
No, they haven't died
were
playing
shocked.
pickleball for all we know. We just
All
get
natural causes,
we just
or
get
is this
email
like a
notices
murder
all the
spree?
time.
Is there like
I don't know. It just seems pretty crazy since Brooksy joined. Imagine if Brooksy was a serial killer of
Yeah.
seniors.
it could be?
Under your nose the whole time.
maybe
That'd be a next.
But hold on.
Oh, a Netflix special, and I'd be involved in.
Okay, so but say
Would that be a
her,
flattering part for you?
as long as it's
though?
not live.
I don't know.
say her killing seniors turned her on and it meant more lovemaking for you.
Is it
Would
worth
you
it
would you be willing?
to cover up for it?
Accomplice.
You're a sick freak. Yes, I
Yes,
would.
you would.
So Brooksy comes home. Brooksy took it the next level. She's bought a pickleball net, and now our driveway is a pickleball court.
Oh.
And it's attracting people from all over.
Seriously.
Oh, Jared, his girlfriend, Darian, her boyfriend. Neighbors are coming by to
I
watch the pickleball.
Because it was just people who live in the
like-
house.
Yeah,
that were
no,
coming out.
My kids are using the driveway.
Neighbors are coming. Our driveway is a good pickleball court.
Now, do you have the tape down to mark this?
I don't know. Like, does chalk? If you put chalk down, will it go away in the rain?
The rain.
in the rain.
Eventually, yeah.
In the rain.
Eventually.
Like in one rain, or like will it?
Or you could just maybe hose it down.
Yes.
You can make your own rain.
He's not going to do that.
No, I don't want to do that. I want the
He
chalk
wants
to.
it
I
to
don't want to go
stay.
through the effort.
Oh.
You got to paint.
Oh,
Yeah.
paint lines on
Find
the
somewhere
driveway?
where they're doing the lanes on the highway and just swipe up like it.
Or can't you just buy like kind of like a court that's like already that you can just lay down?
Oh, that's what Brooksy wants to put a pickleball court in our backyard.
You know what you
now.
should do,
yeah,
James?
Yeah.
You should.
You know the way Dregs is
No,
with
I should not.
Why?
It costs like $50,000 or something to put a pickleball court in our backyard.
But you can be like Dreger is with the outdoor rinks. You
Oh,
can
and-
be with the pickleball.
Yeah.
Ask people to send in
Yeah.
their pickleball court photos all the
Yeah.
time.
All the people will be like,
Just
how do
retweet
you
them all.
send an internet? They're all going to be so old. They'll have
true.
no idea how
Well,
to
don't mail the letters in
That's a good
They'll
point.
just get all these pictures and handwritten notes.
from people that already died.
Don't get attached to anyone at that senior
Maybe
center.
maybe Brooksy's too hot for them. They're like,
Oh, yeah.
keeling over. That's what
True.
I saw, I'm going to get it wrong now. I think his name's Robert. If I screw this up, I'm going to be so mad. Remember the guy?
Yes.
The guy
Who
who
walks around the laps and
walks
listens.
around the laps at pickleball.
Yeah.
And
Does he play pickleball?
No, he doesn't, but he's just always walking laps at the center and he listens to the pod.
Yeah.
And I saw him the other day again because we rented the gym again because we're pickleball freaks. And I said, "Did you hear me mention you on the pod?" And he says, "Yes. It's now my second favorite episode to the Daddy Bath episode."
Wow.
Which I believe was
Episode one.
Episode
That's-
one.
that's a long
so that
time
means we
ago.
have not done a lot of good work in the last 9
Wow,
seasons.
He has not been happy. He has not been happy.
Or he
with
just
it.
loved Daddy Bath. It was so good.
Yes. Who
He
does?
keeps waiting for us to get to that point, that level again.
That gives
I'll
me
stick
a lot
with
to
them one
think
more
about.
season. Maybe they'll get back to it. The world came full circle for me last night. I appeared on Snakebite Pete's podcast.
Sorry, whose
His podcast.
podcast?
Snackbite Pete.
Snack that piece.
I like to refer to him as Snakebite Pete. But I didn't know all these years. Like one of our most faithful listeners.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Right?
definitely in
Like
that.
from the
He's up
beginning.
there, yeah.
He's been around. And I never knew all this time. He had his own, actually, he probably told me and I forgot. He had his own podcast. And he probably sent
Probably
me.
your third time on it,
No.
realistically.
Yeah, probably. And also, I got on the podcast not knowing, just thinking it was like Snake Bites Pete, like a podcast like ours,
Yeah.
talking about snake bites or snack bites. And it was actually a diehard CFL podcast.
Nice.
Wow.
Who's his team?
Sasky.
Saskia.
And his co-host is
That's a safe guess,
Winnipeg
usually.
guy. No, he's a Riders guy. No. Snake Bite Pete is a Winnipeg Blue Bombers guy.
Okay.
Sorry. His co-host is a Sasky guy.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I
Maybe
get
the
confused.
Elks.
The early
Banjo
onset.
Bowl.
It's happening.
And it was last night. It was a long time ago. Yeah, no, Snack Bites Pete's a big Bombers guy, but yeah, I've probably embarrassed myself because the podcast started and it was called like the Third Down Gamble podcast, and I'm like, "What's this podcast about, Pete?" And it's like, "This is a CFL podcast." James." And also, how would you imagine Snack Bites Pete in your mind?
What does he look like?
What
What does he look like? What does he
Bald.
sound like?
No.
He
White
is bald.
bald.
He is white bald. How did you know that?
I think I've seen a picture of him.
Oh, you scammer. Me and Puffy had him as like skinny,
Yeah.
dark hair.
I thought he'd be a tall, gangly guy.
Like 6'1", 145.
I didn't see him. I don't know.
145.
I don't know if he was
The
gangly.
rake.
He didn't do a spin for you, Jimmy?
But he was also like, he actually could be a broadcaster, a very professional voice. And I always thought, hey, it's Snack Bites Pete. I'm listening to the podcast again. That was I expected, He's got like the emojis of the snakes on there. Hey guys, that's what I expected. And instead it was like, hey James, welcome to the Third Down Gamble podcast. And he was like super professional.
Nice.
I think he
That's
should be a
good, man.
broadcaster. So.
Hey, you're a big deal, man. I imagine.
If you're a CFL fan, please listen to the Third Down Gamble podcast with Snack Bites Pete.
Nice.
Nice. Okay.
And
Third Down
I'll be on.
Gamble.
Jimmy will be on it this week, and
Be sure to subscribe. Give him 5 stars.
that's the thing I want now. I want all of our listeners to start their own podcast, and we're going to go on.
Yeah. And you're going to go on all of them. You're promising them that.
Welcome to Night Moves with Chewy Louie.
night move.
It's about moving in the night.
I like it.
Bowel movements. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Yes, Greg, strike that. Sorry.
Plunk.
Jesus.
Sorry, Chewy.
Arson
Louis.
with Andrew Arsenault. Arsons. No. I'm trying to think.
It just starts fires.
It's gonna be called Own It All.
Who you calling Ho with Irv Ho?
I believe is Ho in the hockey pool. I believe
I'm sure he
might
is.
be.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
I've
sure
seen
he
the
is.
Irvin name.
Yeah.
Very excited
Good to have him back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry, those were all the little notes I wrote down while I was waiting for you guys who were stuck in traffic. Why don't we start the podcast now?
Wow.
Let's do it. Well, James, you did ask people. Do you want me to do the?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, remind me to do what you watching.
Okay.
Should we do that first?
Yeah. No one's going to remember.
Do you want to do where you watching or where you from?
Let's go. What you watching?
What you watch?
What you watching? Just between you and me, what you streaming on your TV? Let me see. What you watching? Action, drama, comedy. What you streaming on your TV?
Have you finished White Lotus yet?
No.
Jesus, what is wrong with you?
Come on.
forgot
You were
about it.
binging it like
Guys,
crazy, and now you forgot.
People are waiting on that episode.
I wanted to. Puffy suggested I watch something last week, a new spy show on Netflix. So it's called The Night Agent. If
Yeah.
you go
Oh, I
on
watched
Netflix, did you watch it?
I watched the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay, and do you want my thoughts first, or do you want to give your thoughts
You can
first?
give yours. I'm interested.
Can you give us a synopsis?
Compelling enough to watch the entire thing. Overall, horrible.
Wow.
I don't know if I'd say horrible. There's something for me that ruins it halfway through, midway through. I'll say the person they make the bad guy
Yes.
is so stupidly bad.
Also,
it ruins the
also
whole
a
show.
horrible actor.
Yes, yeah.
What?
To give you a small synopsis, basically, this guy works for the FBI/White House. In their basement, there's a phone that rings only if there's emergencies for agents. The phone technically never rings. This time it rings, and there's this woman who needs help and leads them down this whole way, finding a conspiracy thing.
Big conspiracy
I'm
to
all
the
in.
highest echelons of the White House.
And like the story of the conspiracy is actually pretty good. I think that's
okay.
what draws you in.
and there's enough action.
Yes, absolutely. But slowly and
Lead
slowly,
character's
there's-
pretty good. Is
He's
guy?
pretty good. He's believable, I think.
he the guy from Avatar? No, he's not, right? But
don't know.
he's a recognizable face,
know.
though.
Don't know.
No, I don't
The
think
girl's
it's
good
Come on.
too.
She's good.
Yeah.
But
Very
there
good.
is some horrendous acting in this show.
Especially from like the bad people, and
Yes.
it's almost like they're cartoon villains.
No,
That's what it becomes
it's like
to be.
It's like those A&E movies you'll see in the middle of the day when they're just so garbage. Like they just, I don't know. There's elements that, and I got 3 more episodes still.
Oh my God.
But it frustrates me so bad when it's
You-
so standard. Everything, the plot twists are all so standard.
So me and Nicole are watching a show called Rabbit Hole now with
Okay.
Keith Sutherland.
I've heard.
Okay.
And it's also conspiracy, similar thing. And we started watching, I think, the 4th or 5th episode last night. And they go to interview someone, and I'm like, but isn't that so-and-so's wife? And I confused it with someone from The Night Agent. All these shows are starting to mix in for me now.
No good.
It's bad.
So don't watch it, is what you're saying.
Well, I'd be interested for your
It's okay.
feedback, but you might like it better than me. But I think it was a giant and kind of a waste of time. But is it you that started watching the other Netflix popular one now, which is called? It's about a road rage incident.
No.
Oh, Beef, is it?
Beef. It wasn't you. It was Billy, our producer.
Yeah.
So that's like the movie Changing Lanes.
Beef. Everybody says is really good.
Yeah?
So that'll be my next thing. It's another 10 parts. So
If you watch
Is
the
it
movie,
real?
Changing Lanes is a really good movie with Ben Affleck and I forget who else is in it, but they get into an accident. It's pretty much the same synopsis.
Really?
They just, it
Okay.
escalates between them. They're trying to get each other
is
back.
it a recent-ish movie?
No. Like at least 15, 20 years old.
Wow.
Do you? I keep thinking you want to weigh in on these shows. Have you seen? any of
He's
them?
afraid you're going to start singing.
I haven't seen any. I'm sorry.
I just watched that Boston Marathon show.
Well, but there was a movie about that already with like
Yeah, that was Mark
Marky Mark.
Wahlberg, but this is like a real documentary.
This
But
was
I
the
know
Tom
what
Brady
happened. They
one?
find him. He's in the
No.
boat. He's in the boat.
Yeah, but it's pretty.
That's the one. I
it's
remember
pretty
that.
crazy.
He's
Yeah.
in
Goes
the
back.
boat.
Does it go to the backstory, why they did it, and all that stuff?
Yeah,
or?
and it goes in like how they caught him. How
He's
they
in the boat.
found him.
Like I remember living through it, so
Yeah.
it doesn't fascinate me as much.
No, I
I
hear
guess.
you.
Like,
No.
I
see-
kind of also don't want to like remembering how awful it was. And
It was
stuff.
awful.
It was bad.
See, I like it. Find it more interesting when I live through it to then watch
back?
it again and sort
Yeah.
of see what I.
I'm not ready yet. I mean, I remember that. That was a very horrendous day.
Awful.
Yeah, just
Because
remember
it's sort
that.
of tied into our world.
Oh,
right?
100%. We were just doing one of our business, and all of a sudden, this major international incident happens, right? So, I will say very quickly, I haven't been watching much Netflix, and I know it's an Academy Award winning movie, but Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay, hold on now.
Oh, people were ripping Jimmy a few weeks ago because you didn't understand it.
Well, no, wait a second.
And they weren't surprised.
There was one tweet that said something along the lines of, given Jimmy's taste in movies, I'm not surprised. He
That's
doesn't know
not
what's going
true. I
on.
have a very high echelon of. I'm using echelon a lot now because I don't have a big vocabulary.
New word.
But I like usually like Oscar type movies. I'm a fan of, and I'm going to go back to this. It was a half rating. I just said through the first half hour, I didn't know what the hell was going on, and and it didn't make me want to keep watching. But I will, because obviously it must get better because it won all the Oscars, right?
I haven't
You
seen
loved
it yet.
it?
I thought it was, I mean, I listen, I get it. I certainly understand. I mean, I thought all the acting.
Like you. I get it.
No. Not that I get the movie, because I mean, I think it's a lot. There's a lot that's open for interpretation. But I just think I understand, given the scope of the movie and all those the range that all those actors had to have. And I look at Jamie Lee Curtis, for example. Do I think 100% that she should have won that Oscar for Best Supporting? I haven't seen all the movies, but I would say what she did in that movie versus what Angela Bassett did in Wakanda Forever. No offense, I would give it to Jamie Lee Curtis too. I would, and I don't mean no disrespect. I don't want people coming after me to say, "Oh, I was disrespectful to Angela Bassett," but I just think the range of emotion and just the bizarre nature of that movie, you really had to expand your palette.
So where I left it off.
Oh, you didn't finish it?
No, I told you I only watched like 25 minutes. And
got
that's why I
dizzy. She got
probably
dizzy.
So
You
the
gotta
first
finish it.
scene where they go in and meet her,
Yeah.
and-
Jamie Lee Curtis, yeah.
yeah, and she starts acting all freaky.
Yeah.
That's basically where I left off because I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'll tell you.
So it gets better.
It gets better, but I mean, listen, I understand.
Starts to make sense?
When I say I get it, I understand why this movie captivated so many people, and I understand it. But at the same time, I mean, what's difficult to make about it? Drop acid, then write a movie. That's what I felt like they did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
'Cause
like it's
very,
interdimensional, right?
It's very out
I
there.
hate
Does it
And
make
moves quickly.
sense by the end? Like
To me, it does. And look,
because I kept going. Is the lead star just a schizophrenic or something like that?
No,
Because I
no.
didn't want to watch that.
No, I think look, at the end of the day, I think there's two central themes. Number one, life is all about your choices. Make good choices. That's number one. And number two, it's about her relationship with her daughter.
Okay.
At the end of the day, that's what I think. Stoff, Puffy.
Oh,
you
I
guys
haven't
agree?
seen it. I just
You haven't
I
seen
know
it?
the synopsis is that I'm planning to watch it. It looks pretty good.
Okay.
I'll tell you what.
Have you seen it? You haven't seen it, Puff?
I will watch it as soon as Puffy finishes White Lotus. I will finish everything after the
I'm going to do
offer.
that this
ever.
week. I'm going to finish it.
What else? Did we start the rest of the show yet? Oh, that was what you watching.
Yeah.
I'll take some recommendations, people, for all our listeners out there because I need some new.
And
Playoffs.
I'd also like some feedback from our listeners about what I just said. Do you guys agree with me in terms of what I feel the central themes of the movie are about?
Well,
if you don't mind me asking.
Send some feedback, people.
Yes.
Yeah, give us all some
And
feedback.
also, where are you from?
Thank you.
Let us
Thank you
know.
for that answer.
where you from?
People did enjoy
We
writing where
want
they're
to know
from.
where you live, where you from.
Yes.
Are you smart or are you dumb?
Pretty good.
We can probably tell from where you're from.
Nice. Nice. There's a song.
Coming together well.
See, people don't think you're a lyricist. You are,
Yeah.
100%.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Lyrical icon. All right, where you're from. We asked you last week. Now, you did specify that you didn't really want to hear about bigger cities and stuff like that. You said just kind of the smaller ones out there.
Yeah.
Although a couple bigger ones made their way into here.
Oh, nice.
But I'll run this down. I guess you want the name and where they live from, or do you want to guess who lives where?
Well, I don't know. Do the people want to? Is it going to take all day? I don't want all the other
I
listeners
mean,
to be bored as crap. I guess.
We'll run through this. John Pinkerton, Downington, Pennsylvania.
Oh, was he the original guy from the
No,
Philadelphia?
the Penguin.
Untucket?
Untucket, no, that's later on.
Okay.
Yeah. Matthews from Markham. Jeff Laughlin, who won the first GBL from Summerside, PEI.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Michelle Roebuck from Shallow Lake, Ontario.
Oh, I got a
she
shout
worked
out.
there.
Yes.
Yeah, she used to work
Formerly Michelle
Former
Good.
TSN employee. Yeah.
Outstanding individual.
Yeah, she's great.
Great person. Shout out to Goody. Love you, baby.
Michelle.
Shout out to
Michelle,
Goody and Shallow
the
Lake.
runner. Was she a runner?
No.
I don't know if she's a runner. I can't remember if she's a runner. to be
I know
honest.
Michelle.
She worked in the newsroom. You'd remember.
Red hair.
Yeah, I know.
Red
her.
hair.
Red hair.
Yes.
You see, there was a few Michelles
Red hair
here.
runner.
There was another Michelle that went out with Troy, the cameraman. She was a runner.
Yes.
Yes. She was Shallow Lake.
Shallow Lake, and that's
Shallow
near Owen Sound. Apparently.
Yes.
So.
That's up.
Is it indeed Shallow. If Michelle could write back in.
Yes.
I'd love to hear about that.
Yes.
Yeah,
No
like
diving.
what would be the deepest part of it?
No
Is there a place
diving.
where Puffy and I can dive?
No.
In Shallow Lake?
No.
And by the way,
There shouldn't be.
Michelle, shout out to you and Andrew. They're both big hockey fans. Michelle's an Oilers fan, and Drew, her husband, a Habs fan.
He knows it all.
Oh, wow.
Lester.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. So we know
Well,
each
what
other.
can you tell me about S Coffee from Trenton, Ontario?
Oh, S-Dog.
S Dog.
I don't know anybody.
Trenton.
Trenton.
Trenton, though.
Oh, he's probably a fan of the old Trenton team.
I
Yeah.
played in
Ooh,
Trenton.
he's celebrating
Once.
this week.
Yeah.
Big win. Chris Baker from Lake Orion in Michigan.
Orion.
Originally
nice.
from Wainwright, Alberta.
Beautiful.
Oh, nice.
Wow,
A lot of transplanted. Do you think most of the Americans are transplanted Canadians to listen to us?
I think some of them are, though, although there's one later who's transplanted from somewhere else in the U.S. So.
Interesting.
Oh, nice.
David from Chapman, Ontario.
Chapman?
Chatham.
Chatham.
Oh,
So-
Chatham, Ontario. One of my first loves, Christine
Oh, nice.
from Chatham, Ontario.
Ian S. Crawford from Lakewood, Ohio.
Oh,
Ohio.
Lakewood,
And
Ohio.
from Essa Township in Ontario. So
Amazing.
He
I will
spends
be-
some months here, some months
I will
there.
be in Mentor and Centerville and in Ohio.
What
at some
band?
point.
With Elton
This
Rod?
is with Elton Rod.
Ooh,
Yes.
Nice.
Nice.
Later on. So if
So
he's anywhere
Ian-
close, look
Ian
out for
S.
Elton
Crawford,
Rod.
check that out.
Yes.
This is why we did this, so we could promote Leicester's tour city by city.
Right.
Mark Nyman from Prince Edward County.
Oh,
Thought
nice.
he'd be popular.
Nice. That's a big one.
He probably forget it. I can't go.
Are you a big shot? Are you a big shot in Prince Edward County when you walk down the street? The people are like, "Hey,
Oh,
Puff."
yeah. There's a lot
Gotta
of
be.
people
I could imagine.
that know me as a person who's never there.
Ro-
Outsider.
Roscoe is from St. John, New Brunswick.
Let's
Love
go.
that.
Oh.
Good town.
Roscoe.
We have Matthew from Perth, Ontario.
Oh,
I believe
I
that's a
played
little
golf
west.
there. I played golf at the Perth, whatever it's called, Perth Golf Club.
Yeah. The legendary Perth.
I used to always stop at the Dairy Queen on my way to the cottage from Perth. Oh, God. Have my
Dairy Queen.
lime shake. Lime shake was my
Lime.
go-to.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lime shake. It's disturbing. Michael Berube from Miramichi, New Brunswick.
Miramichi.
Miramichi, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's French, for sure. Miramichi.
Miramichi.
All right. Cam from Linden Woods.
Wait, I used to know Michael Berube.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, no, it was Buble.
Oh,
That wasn't a joke. I just thought the name sounded familiar.
We know. Cam from Linden's Woods. Now, this is...
Linden's
Hold on.
Woods?
Cam from Linden Woods.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's his name. That's not where he's from.
Oh.
His name is Cam from Linden Woods?
Yes. And he's from Lac du Bonnet in
Oh,
Manitoba.
You did that very well.
Oh,
Did I?
nice.
Lac du Bonnet.
I wanted to make up for the Miramichi.
Miramichi band.
Miramichi.
Carrie White.
I dated a girl named Miramichi.
I'm going to have to beep it.
oh my God.
Carrie White, Simcoe, Ontario, and she specifies, or he, I guess, the town, not the county. So
Oh, okay.
Simcoe's an entire county, which I live in, actually.
Right, of course.
Right, of course.
Scott Norland from Russell, Ontario.
Russell, home of Jonathan Pitra, the butterfly child.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
God rest his soul.
And one of my good buddies, Terry O'Reilly, who also passed away a few years ago. Russell, good town, just near Ottawa.
You're Ottawa. Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm guessing this one's near Ottawa as well, because Jerkson writes in Orient Park, and then in parentheses, Jimmy knows.
Well, Orient Park isn't really a neighborhood; it's a street adjacent to Blackburn Hamlet. So, I guess Orient Park is a neighborhood, but Orient Park was a street. That's where we used to play our basketball because they had a hoop that was a little shorter. I think. No.
Those must have been some
that's not the
games
one we
around
could dunk
the
on.
Ottawa
I'm sure the
suburbs.
scouts were out watching.
There was one public school that had low hoops, and we would go when we were drunk, come from the bars and have these 3-on-3 games because we could dunk there.
Yeah.
And we felt so good, and we were probably terrible.
I'm picturing
But
that
that was
with
not the-
shirts
that
and
was not
skins,
Orient
those
Park.
games.
Huh?
The shirts and skins.
Yeah, though there was all skins, baby.
Oh, yeah.
We were like many beers deep.
Wow.
Chewy Louie. Anyone want to guess where Chewy's from?
Chewy Louie is from
Edmonton,
Manitoba.
Alberta.
He's from Manitoba somewhere.
Medicine Hat, Alberta,
You got the province, right?
I said
Oh, he's about. Oh,
Edmonton.
wait.
Calgary.
No.
Left
Calgary?
ding.
Shoot, I'm sorry.
I thought we were going to get there
I thought
eventually.
no, you know what? It threw me off because you met him.
I met him at the World Juniors when they were in Edmonton.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's a
Sorry,
trick
man,
question,
my bad.
guys.
Yeah.
Was.
Yes, I know.
Pay attention. Jason Katuri from Sudbury, Ontario.
Okay, the nickel has a home of Tessa Bonham.
Yes.
Well, yes.
Speaking of Tessa Harrison.
Yes.
Cornwall,
Tessa Harrison.
Ontario.
Yes.
Cornwall.
Love Tessa Harrison.
Cornwall.
Yes.
Cornwall's very nice.
Home of the
Royals?
very near the Akwesasne Reserve, where I got beat up and
That is-
appeared on the national news for the
Oh,
first time.
that one.
Remember that
Exactly
story?
why I know where Cornwall is.
There you
'cause I
go.
was
Mark,
playing it.
Also, the evil quizmaster. I don't know if he's
from Toronto.
He's not. Oh, but he worked in
worked
Cornwall.
in Cornwall.
Yeah, first job like the Cornwall Sun or something.
Well, imagine him on the beat.
Oh,
the
Jesus.
Cornwall
Cornwall
beat when he was
Sun.
like 22. He would have been so annoying.
Mars is from Kemptville, Ontario.
Kemptville,
Kemptville, yeah.
also just outside of Ottawa, another good little junior A hockey town.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Josh Lemurs from Cobourg, Ontario.
Oh, nice,
So I'm
Cobourg.
guessing he's some guy from Cobourg, maybe.
Cobourg on the way to
to county.
where near the Big Apple, kind of.
Yep.
And where Cobourg is where we got Buddha, my boss in Terry, who's now deceased. All right.
Really?
R.I.P.
Goldberg.
Yes.
Rob Tyndall is from Orillia, Ontario.
Oh,
Nice.
Up your way, a little
A
further,
little
Tyndall
north from
Swindler.
me.
Home of
right next to you.
Rama.
Home of Vic Router.
Near Rama,
Is it?
yes.
Make the final, Aurelia,
Pick the
great
final.
town.
But years ago, Vic was calling hockey, and he Benoit Brunet scored in overtime. Benoit Brunet, that's how you do it.
All
Never
right.
forget
call.
that.
So we have our next
Love Vic.
contest.
Vic
here.
Router sung the high part in Puck Over Glass.
Yes, he did.
Yes, it was a very memorable moment. Where is Sean Morrison from?
Oh.
Sean Morrison.
Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Flint, Michigan.
No.
Is this-
But you did have the province yet again.
Okay, Truro,
Dartmouth?
What's that?
Dartmouth.
No.
Bedford.
No.
Porcupine
Berwick.
Plain.
What's going
This
on?
is great podcasting.
It's not my fault you don't know anything.
Put that in the notes. This week on the pod, the guy is trying to guess towns in Nova Scotia.
Please make that the title. It's not my fault you don't know anything.
Come on. To be fair, I did send you all this. If you would have just
you-
read it,
it's right on the list. Oh, if I could be cheating right now, I'd be go, Okay, keep going. Is that it?
All right, no. Next, we got MD Wheaton from Sussex, New Brunswick,
I was
which
hoping
is
English.
A lot of Easterners, like I said, there are blood and soul.
now. Wheaton did want to specify this that he's 5 minutes from Apohakui, New Brunswick, and he wanted one of us to say it, so I guess I just said it.
let me read it.
Apohakui?
How do you
Poakui.
see if I can nail it?
Okay, Jimmy, you're doing a story for the National from this place.
All right.
Sign off.
Hopefully, the flooding will subside within the next 24 to 48 hours. James Duffy, CTV News, Apohakui, New Brunswick.
Nice. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'd hire you.
Pretty good. Imagine he,
That was
You'd be my
100%
Atlantic
confidence.
reporter.
he
just
messed
ran
up the
through it.
pronunciation of his name.
I'm James Dutier.
Duchia.
Oh my god.
Feels like flooding would be the story I'd be sent to in Apohakui.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Don't you think? Low level lands there.
I'm sure MD Wheaton finds that hilarious.
He's like, it's so high level, that moron.
Damn it, my grandparents died in a floodplain accident.
My name is your name here.
It's Apohakui's nightmare.
Flash flooding.
Apohakui is translated means floods of death.
You know that whenever I'm editing one of these things, I later have to look up to make sure that's not actually true. Well, maybe we'll cut that. Maxime Guarnacha from Val d'Or.
Valdor.
Valdor, yeah, Valdor.
Yeah.
Get
Valley
Who
of
played there?
Gold. Valley of
Is that what it
Gold.
means?
Valdor.
Wow.
Makes
Who
sense.
played there? Someone recently. There was a player.
Valdor?
Like a
I
top
think
prospect,
Lafreniere?
Maybe it's Lafreniere.
Maybe? No, he was in Rimouski.
Oh, I thought Valdor was.
Is he from there, though?
Maybe Valdor was. I don't know. We should look up famous hockey players from Valdor.
Let's do that. Get the Google machine.
This is almost as good as the Nova Scotia guessing. Almost as good.
All right.
P. Tobler says Whitehorse from Yukon.
Nice.
So yeah,
yeah.
we got the
Horse.
territories up there. Nice.
Wanna ride?
Oh, beautiful,
ride a
beautiful.
white
We're
horse.
almost covering every
I want to go up
province.
there. Whitehorse.
Yes.
Well, P. Tobler sent out the invite.
Okay.
Stephen Armitage from Gibsons, BC.
Steve Armitage, like Steve Armitage, the voice of the Olympic swimmings.
He might be the best.
Michael Phelps down the stretch, another world record. Is that Steve Armitage?
Yeah.
No.
I love that guy.
Rod Smith
No,
did
no,
a great
Puffy's
job at
confirmed
the
it.
Olympics, but Armitage, pretty tough to beat.
He is, but Rod was pretty amazing.
I will say very quickly, I played in Gibson's, BC back in 2019. Absolutely beautiful place. The Beachcombers outside shot. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Beachcombers, but I ate at that place.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Is that the one that had like the really hot girl and the other kid? And
I don't know if this is...
Which one?
Corey Warren was on that show.
Gibson was the Beachcombers. Gibson's were when the World Juniors were in Vancouver. That's where my family, we spent Christmas out in Gibson.
Oh, really?
Beautiful spot.
Yes. But I was also there.
Valdor hockey
There's
players.
a statue there now to commemorate.
I don't care if you were there, Lester. I was there.
Now it's a real city.
Chris Letang.
Brad Marchand,
Oh, that's who I was thinking of.
Anthony Mantha.
Yeah, that's who it was.
You're just going to say yes to everybody I say.
Gillian Jelena, him too.
The late Luc Bourdon.
Oh,
Valdor. Roberto Luongo, apparently.
that's one of the saddest.
Valdor.
Oh, Luongo, the first ever guest on this podcast.
Marcos
That's
Scandella.
right.
Okay, keep going. Because this is that we're like our
Oh,
third hour.
I love these
Hold on.
little tangents.
There maybe should be a part 2.
Are you okay with those glasses?
Maybe we're just going to skip things you saw on Twitter, and this is just going to end the show.
This is it. This is
Next week on Where You From.
Maybe we'll just rename the podcast. How many cities and names can I butcher? Tibley 2023 writes in Fredericton, New Brunswick. We got a lot in New Brunswick. A lot of
Maybe
New-
we should start
Like
to
out east.
orient our content to
Yeah,
New
yes,
Brunswick.
for sure.
Yeah.
We should.
What would that mean?
Or we should do a little tour. We should go out there and do
I'm
live
going to
podcasts.
I'm going to
from
search New Brunswick topics.
Yeah, you do that.
Topical things in New Brunswick.
Wow.
Keep
Flash
going.
Oh, yeah.
flooding.
Can I resume and we'll
Yes,
go back
you
to you?
can go that.
Evan Johnson, Aurelia, Ontario, apparently next door to me. Marcel Profay, or Prophet, I'm not really sure. Prince George, BC.
Oh, that's
So
supposed to be
west.
nice.
Well, yeah.
Beautiful.
Now, Brian Hayden writes in from the carrot capital of the world, which is...
Oh, the big carrot, Danforth. We have one of those.
Oh. Brian Hayden.
The carrot
Brian
capital of the world.
The guy who showers and listens to us. Shower Thoughts. Brian Hayden. Where is he from? Oh, you guys are terrible.
Hold on.
Terrible.
A second.
Prince Edward Island?
No.
Carrots.
That's a potato.
No.
Yes.
Carrots would probably be an Ontario
He's from
place.
somewhere, the same place that a person from this podcast currently lives.
Oh,
Aurora?
Aurora, Ontario.
No. Prince
Prince Edward County.
No.
Wellington.
Innisfil?
Toronto.
No, I don't live in Innisfil. though, so you're good.
Bradford.
Bradford, yes. Bradford.
That's what I meant
Bradford's
to
the
say.
carrot.
The
I meant to say
capital,
Bradford.
carrot capital of the world. We have the Carrot Festival every year.
Do you?
We do. They give up bags of carrots.
Yeah.
Okay, I got some segments next week. Next week on the Rubber Boots podcast, things that we can see in the Bay of Fundy.
Oh, nice.
All right. Here's another one for you. Next week on the Rubber Boots podcast, Acadians. What are they really like? Next week on the Rubber Boots podcast, Hopewell Rocks. Overrated? We will discuss.
There we go. Nice.
I like this next one coming up here.
I will be tuning up. What's
This
that?
next one coming up here after Bryden Hayden.
Yes. Jack Hughes Fan Club,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Washington, D.C.
Like the actual Jack Hughes, like
Oh, so he's a big Devils fan from Washington, D.C.
He'll appear later in listener mail, and he has some choice words for you and
Are we
Lester.
going to get it?
yes.
Next week on Listener Mail, he will appear.
oh my God.
Right after the Acadia segment.
Jack Hughes Fan Club from Washington, D.C. will be on.
Okay.
Elizabeth from Spring, Texas.
Oh, wow.
So
That's
nice.
pretty far south. That's probably our most southern listener.
Elizabeth, could you write back? Actually, could all of the Americans
Not most
write
Southern,
back?
for sure.
Yeah.
Because we're going to do this segment every week now. It's
Yeah.
a great
It's a
time
hit.
filler.
It's a hit.
Wow.
And tell us how you found out about the pod.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and a little bit about your childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what
Sure,
are things
that's
like
to
in
grow
Spring,
up
Texas?
Spring,
Sure, that's
Texas.
not a lot of work for you, Stuff.
Yeah. No, don't worry. Once we get him on for the interview, it's just editing from there.
Yeah.
Dwight Schmidt is from Richfield, Minnesota,
Nice.
but he's the one who grew up in Spokane, Washington.
Oh yes, yes.
so
of
that's
course.
how the link was made.
Yeah, we're big in Spokane, and then he
right.
brought that over to Richfield.
Right.
So big news there. Elliott Honda, Honolulu, Hawaii.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Would love to do the podcast from there.
Wow.
We should do a
If they'd had us.
local
We should
pod.
do one pod in each one of these towns.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
Absolutely.
We'll be in New Brunswick like 4 months.
We live in New Brunswick now.
You know, after the Super Bowl, they have like ratings per like city.
Yeah.
Who got the highest ratings?
Yeah.
You know, like Buffalo registered a 9.2 and
Yeah,
Houston was an
Buffalo
8.1.
always does well.
We should get that for our pod and see what is like. Obviously, New Brunswick's going to be up there. Big,
They'd be huge,
And
yeah.
Bradford.
Yeah.
Spring, Texas. What if Spring, Texas is like the 4th highest ratings and there's only one person
Wow.
there?
That would be trouble.
That would be bad
Wow.
for our demographic.
We got some. This is pretty good, though. Continue, Stoff.
Okay,
this is
Stoff.
pretty good.
Thank you, Lester. I
I'm not sure.
appreciate
Not
the-
sure if the listeners agree, but okay.
I appreciate the immediate feedback.
I'm glad Lester's enjoying listening.
I'm loving it.
This is the greatest segment we ever did.
Marius Oster from Hamburg, Germany.
Whoa! Now we're getting
Now we're going.
exotic.
What's our
Scott
guy over?
Reynolds.
Scotty Reynolds.
Scotty Reynolds
He
has
was-
probably dated her. He's dated every woman in Germany.
Wow.
Marius is a woman in your eyes?
I would say Marius is probably
Oh, Marius is probably a guy.
No, it's got to be a
Yeah,
guy.
Marius
Oh,
is
is
a
it?
guy. Yeah, definitely. I wasn't.
Still?
Really, I wasn't paying attention.
Could have dated.
Marius
Could have
Turkowski.
Marion, too.
The
Marion
Germans,
Hossa.
they're all over the place.
Exactly.
So Reynolds,
The Germans
when
are all-
trade deadline came around, you know, I don't know if I ever talked about this, but
No.
Scotty Reynolds, who would frequently appear in our early episodes, he was a very funny guy, but out there.
Yes.
I think there was one segment that got some listeners mad because he went a little too far, maybe. But he was helping. He wrote tradey tweets with me the year we had tradey,
Yeah.
and he wanted me to give him access to the tradey account again on Trade Center
This year?
I thought he could get me fired because he shares my sense of humor, but he gets a little dark
Yeah.
sometimes.
Good call.
Anyway, Scotty,
But not your
feedback.
income, and not what's at stake. So probably better not.
Okay,
So next we got Jura Tapiainen.
we know that.
We
from
know him.
Tempur, Finland.
Yes, Tempur Finland. There you go. And then we have Veli-Pekka Kajavola
Right.
from
Slovakia.
Helsinki.
also Tempur Finland.
Oh, wow. Oh, we're
Are they
kind of-
friends?
I'm not sure if they're friends, but I think they both mentioned that the men's worlds will be there this year. So,
If they're not
Have a good
friends,
time,
they
boys.
should become friends.
They
course.
should be friends. They should be
but
hanging
then,
out.
what I'm worried about is they'll get together to listen to the pod, and then 2 listens will become 1.
Oh yeah, we can't have that.
can't
We've got to
have
separate.
that.
Greg Button's going over the world. So
That'll drop our ratings
That will kill us in
27%.
Finland. We got Jesse Goddard.
Yeah.
Cabo Frio, Brazil.
Brazil?
Brazil.
What?
For reals?
Yeah. Now, I remember there was once
He's got to be a transplanted Canadian.
a listener who listened to TSN 1050 from Brazil. I'm wondering if it's the same guy.
Wow.
Maybe just a hockey fan,
Could be.
you know? Or,
Love it.
Could be.
Again,
or just wants to know
please
what you're
tell us.
watching.
Please tell us.
Yes, a little bit about yourself and how'd you get there. Then we got Peter in Japan, is his name. So
Nice.
Probably he's in Japan.
he is in Japan. He is in Obihiro, Japan.
I'll be hero.
Oh, the hero.
And we'll finish off on the other side of the world. Rob K from Geelong, Australia.
Wow, that's incredible.
Oh, I know
That's
Geelong is an Aussie rules football
Yes,
team.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
they do
We
have-
had a game
for
on the
them.
other day from Geelong.
Oh, I am blown away
Aussie
by this.
football
We're
is something
truly
else.
international.
We are.
And this is only, this is only a small percentage of our.
Well, you told
Of our
the major
listeners.
city people not to bother writing in.
No,
so-
there's hundreds of thousands of listeners
Yeah,
that
I-
didn't bother to write in because they're too shy.
people from Madrid, New
Vegas.
York.
But now that we're going to make it
They're
a
not
weekly
writing in.
segment,
Yeah, it's
everybody who
not
didn't write in this week, write in next week.
Or-
next
or-
week it'll be crickets.
Or write in.
There's nobody else.
If you wrote in this week, just write in with a different name. next
yes,
week.
in a different town, just so we can name it
That's hilarious.
and kill
I
us.
kind of like that.
But we
if-
should probably wrap this soon. I have to work.
Yeah, we do have to go
Yeah,
do a
I
pod.
gotta go
So
sit
we're
there.
not going to do things I saw on Twitter.
Not this week.
We're not going to do.
Oh
Can
boy,
we-
you're crushing Lester's heart.
can
He
we
sent that
just-
story.
Okay, do
in
the one
yesterday.
thing. Last
I
thing.
think this
Oh
needs to be
my
discussed.
God.
Last thing.
Freaky pigs, strange chicks, world affairs, polar bears, fake news, nice shoes, big boobs, jack dudes. All of these things and more as I sat on the shitter. Things that I saw on Twitter.
So we had Jay's reliever, Anthony B. Ass, tweeted a photo of his young children aboard the United Airlines flight The floor around them littered with popcorn kernels, calling out the airline for asking his pregnant wife to clean up after her 2 daughters. He wrote, the flight attendant at United just made my 22-week pregnant wife traveling with a 5-year-old and 2-year-old get on her hands and knees to pick up the popcorn mess made by my youngest daughter. Are you kidding me? He was outraged. He tweeted that. He tweeted up a storm afterwards as well. Caught a lot of heat. I mean, I guess we'll start with Lester because you brought this up. What did you want to ask?
I see this one or two ways. Number one, first of all, I get it to a certain degree that he's upset because, listen, I've never been on a plane where I've been asked to clean up whatever. But at the same time, I've never made a huge mess on a plane. And I think part of me is saying, okay, listen, meet him halfway, try to do a little bit of a better job of cleaning up. But at the end of the day, when you deplane, they send a crew on to clean the plane. Exactly. So what's the problem, right? But then I also look at this and I go, so why was your wife down on her knees picking the stuff up? You couldn't do it?
I'm assuming he's not traveling.
He's not traveling. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's the thing. So,
but maybe she can't. Maybe she's not equipped to travel with the kids then.
Maybe she's not. But
she's pregnant though, right?
She's pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I just wonder how you. I brought it up because I wonder how you guys feel. Because part of me was like, I read it and initially I was like, that's weak. But at the same time, on the other part,
I think it's wrong on both sides. There's wrong on both sides.
I agree.
Asking a pregnant woman to do that, maybe out of, especially that there is a cleaning crew. For me, the biggest issue I have is just the entitlement of him. Like, there's tons of people who will go through this, and no one will go to this length, and no one will tweet after saying, I spoke to someone with United, and they're going to deal with this person.
Yeah.
Like, you're so proud. Dude, you're a joke.
It's a joke that people, like, go on Twitter and, like, complain to airlines when goes wrong, like they're a big deal.
Yeah,
it's a.
It's Jimmy, completely.
I never did it.
Your thoughts, Jimmy?
I've never done it. I have never done it.
In fairness, you've only done it in DM.
I only talked it on the podcast. I only do it in DM, never publicly.
Yeah,
I would concur 100% with what you guys say. And there's nothing. I know hot takes. You're supposed to take one side or the other. It's firmly in the middle where, she shouldn't have addressed. I mean, in the end, you pay for your airline ticket and cleaning up is part of it. But secondarily, would any of us ever do that? No. And if our kids made a big mess, we'd probably be trying to get the 5-year-old to go down and pick up the popcorn.
I would try to make some effort to straighten up a little bit. Not pick up every kernel.
You're right. And for a guy who plays in the majors to do that was, I don't know. He needs a little bit of.
If anything, he should clean up his ERA this year.
Boom!
No wonder you wanted me to get that.
Dropping the mic.
Wow.
We do have to go do some work now. Was there
Gold Bar League or?
Oh, Gold Bar League.
I love gold, and so do you. Do 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 do. Join the Gold Bar League, and you can have some too. Do 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 do. It's the Gold Bar League. Come on and join the Gold Bar League.
I did well this week. Puffy screwed up again.
I'm gonna make sure we get to
Puffy,
that.
if you need to go.
Yeah, I gotta go do stuff.
Because we're
you didn't do bar.
We're on TV
you didn't
shortly.
do the
Gold
Bar League, so get the
I don't need a segment.
Bye, Puffy.
See you guys.
Yeah.
See you later.
All right.
That was Puffy.
That's Puffy.
From where? Toronto, Ontario.
Toronto.
By way of Prince Edward County.
Correct.
And Aurora.
So week 4 results in the prophylactic conference. Jeremiah the Bullfrog wins it this week. Helix 212 coming second. Brooksy's pickleball partner coming in third.
Ooh.
Tied with Trojan Baz.
That is me.
And Jeff Laughlin. All right, current standings in the prophylactic conference. Smith 32 leads the way with 21 bars. Shower Thoughts with 17. Take Lester and Stoff Golfing 14. Huller Time 13. Marcus McCarthy 11. Andrew Arsenault 10. Dougie with 9. And then you got Trojan Baz, Joey Dearborn, Benny 89, and Jadem tied with 8. 9 more people tied at 7, so still a long way to go here. You can still catch up. And we'll update the talent division.
Big week for Jimmy.
Big week for Jimmy. Jimmy got 7 bars this week.
Woo! Fantastic.
So in the first up standings, it is now Carlo 36, Cause 35, Bump 29, Lester 16.
I'll listen. My fault. I dropped the ball.
Twice.
How come the guys on the actual podcast, and the self included here, are the worst guys at putting in their picks? What does that say about us?
You'll have to find out.
It's
for me.
actually our own podcast pool, and 3 of the 4 of us cannot get our picks in.
It will never happen again. I
Ooh,
swear.
I like that commitment. Talent
Will never
division
happen again.
standings.
It will happen again to me.
Bob Weeks 40.
Whoa, what a machine!
Second
he is.
place myself with 35.
So Bob Weeks, who won the entire thing last year, is back in
he's-
first
he's
place.
going for it. Yeah.
Machine.
Aaron Korolnik, aka Duthie, is shrinking 21 bars. Puffy in 4th with 17, and then Jimmy, you doubled your total from 7 to 14.
I just want to catch Puffy. That's all I want.
You need 3 bars to do it. He'll probably miss this week. I mean,
Yes,
realistic.
yes. Well, considering he did the hockey pool, there was some miscommunication. The hockey pool that you put out this week, he thought it was for the entire playoffs, not one round, which I'm guessing some listeners did, because I thought it the same as well until I read the fine print.
I bet you the listeners knew exactly what was going on.
Okay.
Just the feeling.
Because their only job is to listen.
Very true. I do want to
right.
point this out. Do not submit multiple forms. Don't go back and fix your form.
Right.
We're only going to count the lowest score, so people
Right.
are just screwing themselves over. Do you want to get to the 3 pieces of listener mail or no?
Sure.
Listener mail. Listener mail. Thank you for listening.
Jeff Krause, he wanted to know what happened to Barrett's hockey game. They lost, so there you go. Jack Hughes fan club, screw Jimmy and Lester for the Rangers picks. Remember me when the Devils are in the Cup finals.
Said a lot of nice
They
things
are a
about
wagon.
him and how
Yeah.
proud we were that he listened to us for Washington, D.C., and now this.
Screw you.
I'll say this. Good on him. He's got to stand up for his team. That's fine. I stick with my pick.
Pick 'em serious.
I
Like,
think the
I
Rangers-
thought about taking the Devils.
I got Devils in 7, so there you go.
Okay.
And last but not least, certainly Sean Morrison, who is kind of the go-to guy on our reviews for our episodes. Masters episode sucked.
Oh,
I didn't want to bring it up, but you guys asked.
wow.
Careful what you ask for, I guess.
That is harsh.
That
but
was a harsh listener mail segment.
That's
harsh, but
very harsh.
fair.
Hey, listen.
It was basically, you guys suck, screw you. That was worthy doing at the end. Thanks,
Hey, listen,
Stoff.
at the end
Thanks
of the
for
day, ain't got nothing to do with me or stuff. That's it.
Very true.
I think you guys thrive on it because it shows that apparently we do need you. 2
Our
words.
one little thing.
2 words, blame bump. See you next week. What are we going to do? You're going to have to beep some of this stuff out. I
Keep
can't.
that out. What? What
It's
did
a
I say?
letter.
I
Fine,
didn't
all
say
right,
anything.
fine.
I
This
didn't
is
spell
our
it out.
Masters pod.
This is where it
Me
comes
and
off.
Lester been drinking all day.
We're off the rails now.
How are you? I got a question that I really wanna ask you. Wait. Don't hang up. I need to know, so I'm gonna try and push my luck. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like the dunk tank at the fair? I know it's a little strange, my obsession with your choice of footwear in the rain. I know that you're on TV, but I need you to put your boots up on the desk for me. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like the dunk tank at the fair? This is the part they call the bridge. A bridge has water under it. With rubber boots you can wade in the water. Just don't fall in. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like a dunk tank at the fair? like a fad. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? No, seriously. Are you wearing your rubber boots? Don't hang up, please. Somebody. Hey? Anyone?